Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about the map function in JavaScript. So the map function is used to basically take an array, manipulate the values and return a brand new array, okay, with the manipulated values. So just as a quick example, if you see this numbers array here, we have 5 numbers. Say if we wanted to return the square values for each of these numbers, okay, so we'll say let squared numbers equal, we can take that numbers array and say .map, and then here we can pass in a number from each number from that array, do a callback, and then we're going to say return n times n, like so. So now if we do a console.log of the squared numbers, you should see in our console we get each of these numbers here returned in their squared value as a brand new array. Okay, so we can also clean this code up as well. We don't need this return statement here. We can put this all in one line. So we'll just say come up here, remove the curly braces, like so. And then you can see when I've saved, we get the same thing. So it looks a lot cleaner. So just to give you a quick overview of what this map function actually does, okay? So it passes in 3 parameters, okay? So first thing it passes in is the actual value from the array, okay, so each of these values here. So as their numbers, I'm just going to call them all num for now. The next thing it passes us is the index number for each element. Just say index, and then it also finally passes in the actual array as a whole, okay. So it's like the for each method or similar. So basically we can console.log just say the console.log the num. Okay, so then you'll see we get the nums listed individually in the console. We can do the same thing for the index number as well, like so. Okay, so what else we can do? We can return objects here. So if I say, for example, we'll change the name of this. We'll say let new objects equal. We're going to take the numbers array and return some objects. Okay, so we'll say let obj equal, do a new object, and we'll say first thing is the value, okay, and that's going to equal the num we pass in, and then the index, and that's going to equal the index number we pass in, like so. Okay, so now if we do a return of that object, and then if we console.log new objects here, why is that? Okay, it should be a colon. You'll see now we get the 5 objects returned, okay, and they contain the value of 2 and its index location. See, value 2 is at index 0, value 4 is at index 1, value 10 is at index 4, okay. We can also clean up the return of objects as well, so we can take out this return obj here, and then we can get rid of these this let object initialization here. Come up here to one line, put this on one line. Let's make this bigger so you can see. One line there, and then finally we'll close that off. Don't need these down here anymore. And then if we close these off like so. And the thing is, when we return objects, we can't return them just as is like this, okay, as this curly brace acts as a code block. So what we need to do is just wrap this object in parentheses to return it, like so. Okay, so now we should get the same thing in our console. I've saved that, and you can see we still get the 5 objects listed as they were before. Okay, so that's just a way we can just make it one line, okay, to make it a lot cleaner. So the last thing I want to show you with this filter method is I just want to, add some elements to our HTML or our web page over here. Okay, so let's just start by creating a new array. We'll just say car brands, for example. Let car brands. That's going to equal create a new array. So we'll say Audi. Then we'll say Mercedes. Then we'll say Ford. Just say Ferrari as a final one. Okay, so now if we do we'll say let cars. We're going to create some HTML now, okay, using the map method on this array. So say let cars equal car brands dot map, and here we're going to pass in the brand, so each of the brands, okay, and we do a callback function, and then here we're going to say return, and we want to return some HTML, okay, so we'll start some backticks because we're going to use template literals here. We're going to say, first thing we want to turn is a div. We're going to give this a class equals car, and then we'll close a div off. And then here we're going to say h2, and then we'll do a template literal, so the $, curly braces, we'll pass in that brand, which we take from the array, and then we'll close the h2 tag, and then we'll close a div tag as well, okay? So now, if we console.log cars, you'll see we get an array containing individual divs for each of our cars. Okay, you can see we've got Audi, Mercedes, Ford, Ferrari there. In order to render this HTML to the page, we need to get rid of these commas first, okay? So in order to do that, we need to use the join method, okay, to join each of the elements in an array. Okay, so we'll do, at the end of this, we'll say .join, so we'll chain a .join method, and we're just going to say 2 quotes in there, okay, so it gets rid of those commas. So now you'll see, when we console log the cars, we get rid of the commas and we just get the raw HTML. Okay, so now what we can do with this is we're going to say document.body.innerHTML, and that's going to equal cars, like so. And now you can see we get our cars in there separately, okay? So what I need to do as well is close off that div. That wasn't working, now they're separated out, okay? So now we get 4 separate cars. And the reason we've got style in here is just because obviously we gave it a class of car here, and I've just given it some styling, this car class, okay? So it just gives a little block. It's nothing special, but this is just how you would use the map function in your web applications. Okay, so that's just a really quick overview of the map function, guys. I hope you got something out of this. Yeah, just give me any questions in the comments if you have any. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.